Welcome to today's edition of Sports Shorts Daily, presented by LeBear's Casino. Ronnie Rance, Playboy Marty in the house, who, he's thrown up the L because his sons got eliminated from the NBA playoffs. Joel Davis joining us, representing the Atlanta Braves. How are they even doing, Joe? Have you been following? How are they doing?
I don't know. I know that their best pitcher is towards ACL, his Achilles, so he's not playing.
Yeah, well.
I am not a big Major League Baseball guy right now in this time of my life. You want to talk about the 80s Braves, the 90s Braves? I got you. We'll talk about Sid Bream sliding into home plate, the greatest moment of my life. I might have cried like a 2-year-old watching Sid Bream round third with one leg, knee braces, probably had a neck brace on at the same time.
Has he made it home yet? Because he's very slow.
He's still sliding.
Right.
He might even still be running third, actually. But, those are some great times. The Dale Murphy era, Claudell Washington era, the Rafael Ramirez, the Glenn Hubbards of the world. Bob Horner playing third base, looking like Dusty Rhodes.
Bob Horner looked like when he went to the plate for the Braves in the 80s. He was like, "Hold my beer,
right.
I got a hit."
Well, they were smoking in the dugouts, the good old days. I mean, right. One of my favorite players of all time is Gene Garber. I mean, there's just so many. There's a list of guys that's why I sport this. I'm an old school Braves fan. Really don't care about Major League Baseball at this time in my life. Got too many things going on. Realize that you got to make a living.
You know who comes to my mind first when I just think of the Braves is Julio Franco.
Oh my God!
I
know that's like the weirdest thing ever, but just that
Bobby Cox, Julio Franco.
Yeah, no, that crazy stance he had and the follow through,
I was,
that stance was as bad as Gene Garber's pitching,
wind-up.
His wind-up. He'd look at center field and then release.
Yeah, Gene Garber showed his entire name and number to the hitter every pitch as he turned. I'm a Cubs fan, so not a big Braves fan. But when I think of Braves, I think of Maddox, Glavine, Smoltz. That's my guys. But I want to get over to Playboy Marty. I know this is a dark day for you. How about this? The Phoenix Suns go 8-0 in the bubble, and they don't make the playoffs. Wow.
I've said this before, but it's the most Phoenix Suns outcome possible. Especially with the NBA office doing everything they could, handing the Blazers that win against the Mavericks, suspending Giannis for one game. It stinks, but hey, we win 8-0. No one else could say that. And I don't know. I'm proud of the guys.
Booker.
What?
You still got Booker.
We got Booker. And the crazy thing is DeAndre Ayton didn't even really play that well the whole time.
Right.
And we still win 8-0. So,
you know what else is great? We haven't heard LeBron James recruiting him yet. So you still got that going for you as well.
Now, I think there's a certain Greek NBA player that grew up in much warmer climate than where he currently plays. That's all I'll say.
Well, I'll tell you, if you're the Phoenix Suns, obviously there's nothing more you can do. They've got tremendous momentum going into the off season, and obviously whenever there's a new season, and a lot of expectation that it'll be Christmas Day potentially would be the start of the new NBA season. There's a lot of good things on the horizon, but I feel for those guys.
I do have to say one more thing. Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Just what I've been seeing on Twitter is that the Suns being invited and going 8-0 and missing the playoffs is an indictment on their invitation, and I just think that is the lamest take ever. How can going undefeated be an indictment of their invitation? Just sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, there's a couple things on this show that there's just mysteries that if people tune in and they want to know what's going on, what's in Marty's closet is always something that people are going to wonder about. We saw a raincoat, last week. That was weird. What's being cooked in Joel's kitchen? That's another thing that that people are going to want to know.
Well, look, our kids are in school one day, they're virtual the next. They're in school one day, they're in virtual the next. So yesterday, Mia had virtual school. In school, and today it's virtual school. So virtual school, when you're in real school, you walk from class to class. You got time to, hey, what are you doing? Hey, good to see you. All right, buddy. All right, see you later. I gotta go to class. Well, they don't have those moments between class. So in between class, they make eggs. They make grits. Cool. That's what they do between class now.
Hey, big news, and for a guy who used to have season tickets before you missed the deadline years ago, the New Orleans Saints announced that, hey, this big epic matchup between Tampa Bay and Tom Brady and Drew Brees in his potential final year, it's going to happen in front of nobody. It's literally going to happen in front of 0 fans in the Dome. The Saints have not announced what's going to happen the second or third, or they're going to take it game by game. But I want to ask you, Playboy Marty, I mean, all this build up for the offseason, with Tom Brady and the epic matchup game 1. I mean, is this a letdown, or are you still just as excited?
I mean, it stinks a little bit from an optimist standpoint. Like, obviously, it would have been great to play in front of fans, but, like, nobody's playing in front of fans. So I don't know why this would be any different, you know? That's kind of been my takeaway from it.
Joel, I mean, advantage, disadvantage? What are we looking at here?
Well, I mean, surely it's an advantage. Not an advantage. It helps Tom Brady. I mean,
yeah,
it's their first year together. You know, they haven't had the offseason that they would typically have. You know, Tom Brady's coming into a new system. You got the Gronkowski. I know those two guys know each other. But what about Goodwin and all these other Evans working together with all these other receivers and the offensive line and all these opportunities that the Saints would have had to, to kind of take advantage of their newness together with a fan base, messing all that up.
It's true.
I mean, you take that whole aspect out of the ball game now. I mean, if the game was in Tampa, you know, it would have helped the Saints. I mean, in a sense but they played together, they've been together, they know their calls, they know they can do it all with silent counts. Tom and them haven't had a chance to really get all that together. They haven't been together long enough. So the fans not being there was a huge advantage for the Saints in the sense that it would have helped them tremendously on third downs and you know, making calls at the line of scrimmage based on coverage. Tom's not going to have a problem doing that now at all. Hey, Billy, I need you to block that guy. He's going to be able to hear that.
Right.
Oh, it's going to be really interesting. I mean, fans are such a bigger part of football than they are of baseball, even basketball. So, I'm really interested to see how the season's going to work without fans.
Hey, Mike, I need you to run a post corner.
By the way, Joel, the other team can hear that too. Just a little heads up.
But I understand it. Like, I'll do that in flag football. I'll tell a guy to run a route, and then I'm not even looking at him. But it will affect the defense because you know another route's going in spot. So that's great. If you can just go, hey, dude, run a post corner for me. You may throw the post corner. He may just feel like he likes that matchup. Right. You know, so that's the things Tom and them are going to get. Whereas before, they probably wouldn't be able to hear hey, go do the post corner.
Well, it's a super big letdown. The thing is that the NFL, or at least the Saints and others right now, are going week by week on whether they're fans or no fans or whatever. So if the Saints, Saints could end up on the bad side of things, right? They could end up potentially when you play Tampa in New Orleans, there's no fans, but yet when you play Tampa in Tampa, there are fans, right? And so those are the balances. But I want to ask you guys both, since we're talking a little NFL, what are some other things you're looking forward to? What are the one or two big storylines of 2020 for this NFL upcoming season? Fingers crossed, provided there is one that you're looking forward to.
Go ahead, Martin.
I want to see Kansas City's repeat campaign. I'm excited to see what they do, adding Clyde and all that. Yeah. Oh, Patrick. Yeah. No, I think they're going to be just good as hell again. And I guess this is boring. This is pretty chalk, but I just want to see. Actually, I take it back. I want to see how Tennessee responds.
Why Tennessee?
Yeah.
No, why Tennessee? Oh,
why? Just to see if it was a fluke or not. If the Tannehill thing was a fluke. Which I think there's a very big possibility. But I still
just a real quick little 30 seconds. Patrick Mahomes just jumped in on our Zoom call, which is really cool. Patrick, tell me about Clyde and your thoughts on him.
Oh, he's great. He's unbelievable. The way he can move from left to right is unbelievable. And he not only can he move from left to right, He can move vertical too. I love it. But I got to be honest with you. I can't wait to see what happens with Tom Brady. I don't even care about me. I want to see how him and that gorilla tight end he has, how they do.
Rob Gronkowski, you mean?
Yeah, gorilla.
Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. Thank you.
My
No, I'll tell you,
Have you seen my girlfriend? She's unbelievable.
she's at least a 6.5 or 7 for sure.
Hey, watch your mouth.
Cam Newton, that's my story. Listen, Cam Newton with Bill Belichick. I mean, that to me is the storyline. I mean, we know Tom Brady's going to be interesting. We know, Drew Brees with his teammates. Can they get past the comments he made a couple months ago? Because some people lost their mind over that. But Cam Newton, the guy who shows up an hour late for his own press conference after every game, and Bill Belichick, the ultimate team guy, there is no I. How are they going to get along? That's because they need Cam Newton to play well if they're going to have any chance.
Yeah, I think Cam. I saw a photo shoot with him the other day, and he's looking like he wants to be on the cover of GQ rather than on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and that's fine. Look, man's got to look. There's always a career after football. I get it. I'm actually a big Cam Newton fan. I think he's awesome, except when he's playing the Saints. I can't stand him. But the way he treats the kids in the stands and he runs and gives the ball, I've always really respected the hell out of him. I really want him to do well in New England. I really do. I'm pulling for him. I'm a big fan of his especially now that he's out of the South. But I hope he plays well. I really do. But I don't know if he can, man. I mean, that shoulder injury. Look, I know Drew Brees had a shoulder injury, right? And he came back from it. But Drew Brees is a lot younger than Cam Newton. Right. As well as a different game. Cam's going to be taking hits to that shoulder. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's physical. He likes to run the football. He'll take, the ball in his own hands and try to make plays. I don't know if he's going to be able to hold up. That's a serious injury. We saw him trying to throw the ball, last year. I mean, the year before, and it just did not go well. It looked bad.
Yeah, I was on the Jameis Winston to New England train. I just wanted to see what that quarterback room with he and Belichick would be like.
Right. I think he's a better option.
Right. It is a better option.
Yeah. So that didn't happen, but I think Cam Newton and Belichick is an okay consolation prize. Just for the reasons you said. You got ultimate team player versus a guy that just wants to wear weird hats to press conferences and make headlines. So, but
he wants to win though. Look. The one thing about Cam Newton is, off the field stuff and wanting to make headlines and look good in the press conferences and all that stuff. But that dude wants to win. He is very competitive. We've seen that. And so, at least he has that aspect in his game still. He's got the desire to win. And, that's a positive.
I want to bring Patrick Mahomes back on the Zoom call because Jameis Winston fired his agent after he signed the deal with the New Orleans Saints a few weeks ago. He fired his agent because he's only making like a $1.5 million base and then some incentives. But after you, Patrick, signed your big, deal for a couple, hundreds of millions of dollars, Jameis Winston felt like he got a bad deal with the Saints. His agent did a bad deal. So you kind of led to him firing this guy.
Well, I just think it was stupid. I mean, $1 million. I would not take a dump for $1 million. I'm just going to be honest with you. I mean, if I'm going to take a dump, I want $2 million, right? So Jameis is going to play an entire football year with the New Orleans Saints. Matter of fact, he's not going to even play. He's going to be sitting on the bench, right? And they're going to pay him $1 million. That's absurd. You can't even buy a number 6 at McDonald's for $1 million anymore.
Thank you. I appreciate that for jumping in there. One last thing on the NFL before we got to talk about our topic of the day. With the COVID happening, there were two storylines that were exciting going into this year. One was Las Vegas playing at home. The Raiders playing, moving to Las Vegas, beautiful stadium, supposed to open the season with the Saints at home.
With the Saints.
Yeah, and I mean, myself and many others were going to be there. That's not happening. No fans. And then the other, how about Los Angeles, the Rams and Chargers? Supposed to have this beautiful new stadium, going to open that up as well. It's going to revitalize both those organizations. Nothing there. So that's two big storylines that COVID directly is affecting. That's not going to give them an advantage.
Yeah, you know whose fault it is? I blame Fauci.
give me
It's all his
10.
fault.
Why? Why do you blame Fauci?
Because I mean, with this mask mandate, man, everybody's afraid. Everybody's scared of getting the COVID. So so it's all about legalities at this point, and nobody wants to get sued. So everybody's shutting down everything because you got all these lawyers out there always looking for an opportunity. And one person gets sick at the ball game, and they're like, "Oh, well, that's the Raiders' fault. They shouldn't have let me in there." So now we're gonna start suing everybody. So it's all about legal. I think it's more about not wanting to get sued than it is about saving people's lives. That's just my opinion.
Oh, sure. You always follow the money. It's the same in NCAA football, like them saying, we're doing this for the safety of the players. No, you're not. You're doing it to cover your own asses. Like it's obvious. It's like don't hide behind that veil of that and say, oh, we're going to play 2 seasons in 10 months. Like,
yeah, we're okay with that, with your head banging into other people's heads. And then, in 15 years, you're going to be talking like this, "Hey, I got CTE, but I ain't got COVID." I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's true, man. I mean, they're okay. They know that these kids can get CTE from playing football.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
I mean, you definitely have CTE from falling and hitting your head and with those skateboards.
Skateboarding, yeah.
100%. All right, our story of the day.
Can you do, Ronnie? I mean, since I got you on right now, can you give us your version of someone that has the CTE, please?
Let's see.
There it is.
My version. my version. My version. Welcome back to Sports Shorts Daily. Yeah, all right, that's it. That's it. Story of the day
I'd like to
here.
Stop making light of a serious brain injury.
Welcome back to
Your
Sports.
choice. It's
Listen,
your choice.
if you're watching this, you have a brain injury. But I want to ask the story of the day. This is classic. All right, the Seattle Seahawks cut their free agent rookie cornerback from Oklahoma State. They get rid of him because they got him on video sneaking in a female in a training camp into the hotel dorm where they were staying.
How old is this kid?
I mean, he's a rookie, so he's like 21, 22.
21?
22?
Raise your hand if this would have happened to you.
Oh. It would happen.
I feel sorry for the kid.
It would happen at 48.
Yeah.
The funniest thing about that story, though, is that he made her wear like a Seahawks shirt or something, like gear, to try to disguise her as a player. And how insulting is that? Like, hey, just throw this T-shirt on, you look just like an NFL player. Like, I don't know what this girl looked like, but
oh my God,
I think it's so realistic. I feel sorry for look. I get
he's
it. He's
clearly not very good. They wouldn't have cut him if he was good.
Not necessarily. I mean, dude, was he a free agent?
Yes, a non-drafted free agent. I mean, there's only 7 rounds in the draft. I get that, but the bottom line is that, like, if this guy was a good player, if they were like, man, we really like this guy, out of Oklahoma State, he's going to be a dude. They'd be like, hey, all right, let's fine him, let's make him run some up downs or whatever. But just cut him, they were already talking about cutting him.
Yeah, like DK Metcalf isn't getting cut for that.
You don't want your star players coming down.
Jamal Adams could bring in
free agent
3
rookie.
chicks and he's not getting cut. Jamal Adams could bring in a harem of girls for the Seahawks to his dorm room. He could have a party with a stripper pole, and he's not going anywhere.
No, would have never made the news.
Right. Unbelievable.
Yeah, a lot of crazy stories going on right now, man. I mean, I tell you, I'm interested to see where. Speaking of the Seattle Seahawks, I'm very interested to see where Clowney ends up. Clowney still hasn't signed his contract yet. You saw Griffin go to Dallas. That's a big get for them, going to another pass rusher for the Dallas Cowboys. Everson Griffin is a stud, man. So Dallas is loading up on the defensive line. They're getting after the quarterback. I would love to see the Saints to find some way, somehow, to get the money to put Davian Clowney in that rotation with with Davenport and with Jordan. I mean, that, can you imagine him in that rotation with some of those guys? I mean, Davenport comes out, Clowney comes in. I mean, that's unbelievable. I would love to see them find a way to get him.
Are y'all fans of HBO Hard Knocks? Because right now it's actually on. It just aired this week. Yeah, they're following the Rams, the Los Angeles Rams.
Rams and the Chargers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a massive fan. Like that intro music and stuff when it starts, and they with the montage of them slapping stickers on helmets. That's like the signifier that football season's here. It's very close, and this snuck up on me. Like I just heard it was Tuesday, I think.
Yeah, I didn't even know.
Yeah, it was like, Hard Knocks premieres tonight. I was like,
wow.
I DVR'd it. I hadn't watched it yet. I did watch just a handful of minutes. And it's actually going to be probably more interesting this year than ever before, because you'll get to see how they're truly social distancing and how practices are different and meetings are different. We've already seen that. They've done a lot more features off the field and at home, because they got to fill time, right? They're going to be less practice and hitting and that kind of storyline. And probably access has got to be weird. You can't be probably up close and personal as much with these people. So anyway,
can we just get to the part of the show where the Turk shows up? I mean, honestly, that's the best part of the show. Just get to the part, just cut through all the poo-poo and go straight to where the Turk goes, "We're going to need your playbook." I mean, it's the best part of the show.
Coach,
the best part of the show. But here's the thing. It's misleading because, at the end of week 4, when it's over and you're like, oh, my God, Johnny got cut, that free agent tight end that we fell in love with and we were hoping he'd make the team.
Yeah.
It's so final. And then the reality is 24 hours later, the 3 other guys that made the team got cut, and then Johnny got picked up on a practice squad somewhere else. It's not really the end.
Yeah, the Falcons season, Ricardo Allen was one of those darling rookies, and then he ended up getting cut, and he's an all pro now.
Yeah. Shows you how much these coaches know.
Shows you how bad the Falcons are. All right. Thanks, guys. Sports Shorts Daily presented by LeBear's Casino. Don't forget Sports Shorts Radio, Joel Davis and myself and Buzzy Heidel, Saturday mornings from 10 to noon on ESPN Radio 104.5, 104.9, ESPN Baton
Where are we at tomorrow?
We are at Carter Plantation.
PTE.
We're at not sure. We'll let you know.
We're either at Calandro's or we're going to be at the golf course. I'm Tom.
Remember that skit, late 80s? You doing that skit from the late 80s, the stand-up comic.
Tom.
Right. All right, we'll see you on Monday for Sports Shorts Daily. Playboy Marty, have a great one. Enjoy the frat house. We'll see you next week, everybody.